Hello there, I'm David Jones, and this is the Late Night with David Jones. I'm the host, and today we'll be talking about the premiere episodes of the CW superhero shows Supergirl, Flash, Legend of Tomorrow, and Arrow. And I have a guest with me. His name is Carl Wise.
How y'all doing today?
And we've been a big fan. We've been fans of the shows since I've been a fan since they premiered. Carl.
Oh yeah, I love these shows.
I also, read. I read most of the comics for DC, and if I don't know something, I research it. But today we're going to talk about the premiere episodes for last week, which is season 3 of Supergirl and Legends, season 4 of The Flash, and season 6 of Arrow. Today we're going to start off by talking about Supergirl, but first I just want to kind of talk about the past seasons, what we liked, didn't like, kind of on a quick basis, so not kind of too lost. And just a warning, this will have spoilers from the past seasons and the premiere episodes of each of the shows. So, Carl, let's start off with Supergirl. What did you think of Supergirl seasons 1 and 2?
Oh, season 1
was not good.
I don't even think I've watched season 1.
You're lucky.
I honestly don't think I. You know what? No, I did watch season 1. I eventually watched it, but it wasn't good. Honestly, it wasn't good.
Season 1 for me was it started off really bad, and there were some good parts to it. The person who plays Kara, Melissa Benoist, does a good job no matter what. I mean, I don't like her when she's brooding or angry. She doesn't pull that off really well. But for the most part, when Supergirl season 1 ended, I made the vow that if season 2, the first 5 episodes didn't hook me, I wasn't watching it anymore. I'm still watching it. I don't know why, because season 2 wasn't the best either. Well, it was good, but it wasn't CW level for season 2 of the shows, I should say.
Right.
Anything that stuck out to you in season 1 or 2 of Supergirl? Anything you really enjoyed?
Basically, I just like seeing, character development, characters coming in. Who are they gonna bring in? That's what I always look forward to in the shows. Like what villains they're gonna play, what catastrophes they got to deal with, how they're going to deal with it. That's what I like to see.
Understandable. How did you feel about the character development of Alex, Kara's sister, in season 2? Because I've heard some people like it and some people didn't like it.
Well, it's nice to see Alex have a personality. I mean, basically, they gave her like a Kung Fu ninja robot with no emotions kind of deal who, occasionally is a sister.
In season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who occasionally is a sister, but, she's going to kick your ass in any sense of the way.
Yeah.
Now, they're giving her emotions to showing like, hey, I can love too. I have emotions. I have feelings. That just reminded something from the last episode of season 3 when
talk about the premiere or
premiere. They just a line that she said that made me like yes, that's kind of true. She said it's the part when her and John were together.
Is it the one with John and Wynn?
No.
Okay.
When it was just her and John, and she asked John something very important.
Okay, yeah.
And she's like, if you cry, I'll cry, and then and everybody around us will know we can cry.
Yeah.
So,
that's definitely one of the characters I enjoyed the development of, but the other one I thought they did a really good job with in season 1 was John Jones.
Oh yeah.
How we didn't find out he was Martian Manhunter until mid-season finale, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I really hate the fact we don't get much of his Martian Manhunter side, except for, glowing red eyes and mind play. But for the most part, that and Win. I think Win is definitely the lighter side of the show.
The comic relief.
He's the Cisco of the show. Like, and I think he does he did a really good job in season 1. But when they brought him over to the DEO, I thought I don't want to say escalated, but definitely like raised the bar on his character. And the one character I don't thoroughly enjoy all the time is James.
I can see where you're coming from with James.
And it's like I was cool with them bringing Jimmy Olsen or James Olsen on the show. Like I was cool with that. Had a good story with him. Like, oh, your cousin wanted me to come over here, asked me to come over here and take or watch over you. It was cool. But the fact that in season 2 they made him Guardian or refused to allow that. And I was just like, really? This is what we're going with? This storyline? I don't think everyone in a superhero show needs to go vigilante. And James is just a photographer.
Yeah, that's just what it is. It's like James Olsen, Jimmy Olsen, he was a photographer. He was always on the front lines, capturing the pictures of Superman. You would think he would still be doing that, but he does not pick up a camera at all anymore.
That's it. After halfway through season 2, he stopped picking up a camera. Because by the end of season 2, he's running Catco.
Yeah.
So I really hope season 3 does something else with James.
It kind of seems like he's about to have some power struggle with Lena.
It does seem like there's...
He looks like he's like, I know Lena means well. I know Lena's not trying to like, she's running the newspaper like a business company.
I'm about to say, because James is the working man pretty much.
Yeah.
Where, he rose in the ranks, went from photographer to this, to that, to running Catco.
Right.
And then we have Lena, who is a businesswoman. She ran LexCorp, or L Corp, because you don't want Lex in the name. Which I guess I understand, because...
Mm-hmm. No, Lex Luthor. What was the mother's name again?
I don't even know what the mother's name was. All I know is I don't trust a Luthor.
You can't trust these Luthors. I'm giving hope to Lena.
I'm not. I don't trust a Luthor. It's... Ever since... I've gotten into comics and everything, and I've gotten into I understand these superhero stuff. One thing I've always learned: never trust a Luthor. Smallville taught me that, because both of those Luthors were not fun. Even the third one was not fun.
I want to give hope to this Luthor, though I see it coming. I see things escalating to the point
It's going to be... I feel like it's going to be the same storyline that happened in Smallville with Lex and Clark. Once Lena finds out who Kara is, it's going to cause a downhill slope because, you didn't tell me the truth.
In the very
you
beginning,
lied to me.
I thought we were friends.
It's going to be like that, and then she's going to follow her brother's footsteps.
Brother, mother.
And go against aliens. Now, I'm getting just done with Supergirl for season 1 and 2. Next up, The Flash. Seasons 1, 2, and 3. Going to ask you this question.
All right.
What was your favorite season? And what was your least favorite season?
Favorite season.
If going with your least favorite is easier than the favorite, go with your least.
That's a tough question.
Because for me, season 1 was the best. And then season 3 was... I don't want to say it was garbage, but it wasn't good.
Right.
I think having a third speedster villain was not the best choice.
Oh, yeah. Season 3 was the one where he was the... he was Salvatore, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's definitely...
I've seen interviews where they've asked the executive producers and everything, and they're like, just drop it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Where we had a time remnant from the future go back in time to become Savitar. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. They could have got any other speedster. They could have a speedster or any other villain.
They could have kept Savitar what he was in the comics, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
You could have kept the Megatron looking
robot
machine all you want, but you could have just kept the origins of Savitar the same.
Yeah.
Which is he was a guy who got Speed Force powers. If I remember correctly, in the comics, he had a shrine for Barry, but I don't know much about Savitar. I just know it wasn't that monstrosity of a thing in season 3. And season 1 was my favorite and the best season, in my opinion, because it had everything. We had the romance, we had the friendship building, character development, and a great plot twist with finding out Harrison Wells was Eobard Thawne.
Yeah.
Which, again, it brings on another quote saying from someone I've also heard on the YouTubes, Devon Stewart, "You don't trust a man in the wheelchair." But, that was also the start of the show, and it also gave us a Barry Allen that was lighthearted, funny, smart, and we saw his awesome CSI skills, which we don't see that much anymore.
Right.
So that's why season 1's my favorite and the best, and season 3 is the worst, but season 2 is also up there.
I have to agree with you on the season 3 being the worst, because that one, he was so brooding all the time. It was just unnecessary. I know Iris was in danger, but he just kind of brooded off everything, started, cutting people off, not even telling people his ideas or plans or want to work with his team. He just let him go.
It was legitimately just Arrow season 3 with Flash.
Are you sure Arrow season all of them? Because there's not a moment Oliver is not dark and brooding.
Well, no, he's dark and brooding, but he at least still season 1 and 2, him and Diggle and Felicity worked as a team, and even Roy for a little bit. Season 3, he kind of went off on his own, joined the League of Assassins, did his own thing. No one knew what was going on. So just take season 3 of Arrow, just throw on Flash characters and the Flash theme, same thing.
Basically.
I'm cool with. I understand though, letting the mom thing go on. How, my mom died, I have to go back and save her, but I can't go back and save her. I understand that. But when you do it 4 times in 2 seasons,
I'm sorry. Who is actually the one who messes up Time Lord? Barry Allen or the Legends? That's the biggest question.
That is a valid question. Because and another reason why I think season 3 was weak was because we had an iconic storyline with Flashpoint, and it lasted 1 episode. And don't get me wrong, if season 3 would have started off and Barry didn't have powers, I would have flipped the table. Because he lost powers, episode 22, 20 in season 2?
Yeah.
So, but I do like how in season 3, Julian, played by Tom Felton of Harry Potter fame, grew on me as a character. Because at first, I thought he was an a-hole.
I'm sorry, he still is. No matter what, till the end, he was still kind of an asshole.
Kind of, but he was.
But he grew on you.
Yeah,
I understood.
He was lovable.
Oh, that Malfoy.
And HR, I hated HR from the moment he was introduced till the episode before he died. I hated HR. That last 2 episodes, pretty much, the last half of the second, penultimate episode in the finale, HR grew on me. Harry from Earth 2 is still my favorite Harrison Wells. I want him back.
I like Eobard Thorne Wells. I liked him. He was really cool.
He was cool.
But the sheer fact that he's Reverse Flash kind of sucks.
I mean, it's something at least I saw him being. I saw him being a speedster. For a while, I thought he might be like a Max Mercury or someone who knows about the Speed Force and could train Barry. Right. But that mid-season finale where he just like opens his little time vault thing and you see the yellow suit, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. So there's that, and I'm gonna give him credit on having the Todd. Can't think of his last name. The guy who plays Candyman, the voice of Candyman, voice Zoom. I thought was brilliant. He was terrifying. He was killer, in all sense of the word. He was killer. The only thing I didn't like about the whole Zoom thing was the reveal of who Zoom was.
That's my biggest problem. Every time the reveal of the villains, it's just so. It's not as I expected it.
It's season 2, at least for me. The figuring out who the villain was super easy. The fact that I think it was the episode where, quote unquote, Jay Garrick Zoom. I'm just going to call him Zoom Jay for now. When he showed Caitlin his doppelganger.
Yeah, it's grave.
No, it was like him on a bench or something.
Oh, right.
That's when I knew. I was like, he's Zoom. Like, it was just no whatsoever. And the mysteries of who was in the cage, the man in the iron mask, whatever his weird name was also kind of like, if you didn't suspect Zoom of being Zoom, then I guess it might be a little more hard to figure out. But if you knew Jay Garrick was Zoom, then finding out that was the real Jay Garrick, kind of easy. Yeah. Any favorite moments from Flash seasons 1 through 3?
I'm just a fan of the fights, really. I'm
a fan of the villains.
Yeah, I miss Snart.
I do miss Snart.
I miss Snart. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I like Captain Cold.
He's probably the best villain. He's probably in the top 5 of best villains of the Arrowverse.
You mean Flash?
No, the entire Arrowverse of Arrow, Flash, Legends, and Supergirl.
Okay.
Captain Cold is probably one of the top 5s.
Yes, I'll agree with you because
not Heatwave, but he's definitely. Well, Heatwave's just like sidekick material, pretty much.
Heatwave's that rude or just like drunken uncle just there, basically.
Exactly.
Causes a lot of trouble more than he does good.
He is a villain.
He is.
Well, guess he would be an anti-hero?
Yeah. Basically, if he had the choice between stealing money or helping a kitten cross the street,
he's stealing money.
He's gonna steal the money.
But I mean, Captain Cold's the same way. I mean, for the most part.
For the most part, but he might charm the kitten and then just like work with it.
You'll be my new ice kitten.
Yep.
Now, Legends of Tomorrow. We had season 1 and season 2. What did you think of Vandal Savage? And what did you think of the Legion of Doom as villains for the show and the seasons as a whole?
I did not like Vandal Savage as a villain.
I love him in the animated shows back in the 2000s.
In the day, yes.
In the comics, he's great. This show ruined Vandal
yes.
Savage.
Oh, I did not like Vandal Savage.
Like it wasn't. Actually, I want to say it was probably because the whole connection to
the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawkgirl and Hawkman. Even though that is a storyline in the comics at one point, it would have helped if the Hawks were enjoyable. Like, I didn't enjoy that, and the fact that I was under the assumption that Hawkman was going to be in the entire season, and he was dead the first episode.
Yeah.
Didn't come back to, like, another episode, and then died again. But Vandal Savage was just a weak villain with a cool endgame.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. Like, for the show, I'm not saying, like, the plan itself, because you obviously know it wasn't going to work. But I enjoyed the Legion of Doom.
Oh, yeah. The Legion of Doom was great. I enjoyed them. It's just, thing about Vandal Savage, because he's always been a very charming character, like a very charming person because of, how old he is. He knows how to words. He knows how to manipulate people. This Vandal Savage just kind of went in there with his knives, just throwing at everything.
There were some scenes where he kind of manipulated people, but for the most part, he was just brute force of, I'm going to kill to get...
Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can. Oh, hot girl's over there. Gotta go get her. Oh, hot girl's over there. Gotta go get her.
I gotta kill them.
Gotta kill him.
Which sure, why not? Season 2 of Legends, though, really found its stride because they started to figure out what they actually were.
Yeah.
It's a cartoonish show of a group of misfits screwing up the timeline and fixing that screw up. The only thing I didn't like about the Legion of Doom was the fact Captain Cold did not come until like the last few episodes.
Oh yeah, I was under the assumption that Snart was gonna be back and he's gonna work with the Legion of Doom, try to cause trouble for them.
But they had some cool episodes. The George Lucas episode I thought was I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah. There were a lot of forced jokes in there.
Of course.
But, it's George Lucas. It's Legends of Tomorrow. It's a goofy show.
Yeah. I
accept that. Now, if that episode was done in like Arrow or Supergirl or Flash, it wouldn't have worked. So, who's your favorite legend from seasons 1 and 2? For me, it was definitely... Actually, for both seasons, it's Firestorm.
Why do we agree on so much?
It's because, I don't find Sarah that interesting. Like, she's cool. But in Arrow, she was this deadly assassin. And then she's getting her butt kicked by random people.
She became... Basically, she's like a babysitter.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Sarah's really just babysitting all these people.
Rory's cool. He has cool one-liners. Ray is that one uncle that you question about in your life. You're like, why is he here?
Sure, Uncle Ray. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can totally go watch a baseball game. Sure. But to me, just having Martin Stein and Jax,
two people who are polar opposites.
Yeah, they're complete opposites, which I enjoy because in the comics, that's what Firestorm was. Yeah. There was the jock, and then there was the professor.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Ronnie and Stein, but they were kind of both scientists.
Yeah.
And having Martin Stein try to explain stuff to Jax, and Jack's like, I don't understand you.
I'm just gonna, fire it. Just fire blast.
So stuff like that, I really enjoyed the chemistry between the two. I'll get into them a little later for season 3 premiere. because I have some predictions about that. But for the most part, Firestone, I don't. There are some episodes where Jax or Marion just what, like the episode, and it's not to be like taken. I don't want to take this like the wrong way, but the episode where they go back to the Civil War and Jack, I understand why Jax did what he did, but why go to that time period?
Speaking of which, I am of that descent. I would have stayed my happy ass on the ship. I'm not gonna lie. I would have not set foot outside. Y'all can handle that situation. I'm gonna stay here. I read the books. I know what I would have to do. I ain't about that life.
Like it's like I understand. Yeah, you are a superhero and everything, but that is a very, very
racist time to be there.
And it's like, with everything that's going like in the real world, everything that's going on in the country, why would you decide to go to that point? And it's like, I understand you're trying to make a statement, but it just Jax fell like the one of two characters that needed to be strong in that episode fell flat. The other character did pretty well. Amaya, Vixen, or does she go by Vixen?
Yes. No. Wait.
Because her granddaughter goes by Vixen, but did she ever pick that name up, or did she kind of just go by Maya?
I think she just went by Maya, because I'm pretty sure they didn't call her Vixen.
Okay, so I'm going to say Maya then.
Yeah.
With Vixen powers. She was strong in that episode, but Jax fell flat.
Oh yeah, he definitely let it bother him.
Yeah, and I understand, like, if I was in that same situation with being that race, it would get to me too.
Yeah.
Heck, even if I was white and I was a friend of Jax, it would get to me.
Oh yeah, that would have bothered me. I'm definitely like, it would have bothered me, but certain things, especially certain timelines, you just gotta know how to handle the situation. And you're from the future, so you should know, like, I'm just gonna deal with this now. It's a lot better from where I am than it is now.
Which I think he makes a comment like, where I'm from, like, it's better than this or something like that. But besides that, I do want to point out a second character that I enjoy sometimes, and it's like a 10% sometimes, is what's his name? Steel. Nate. That's his name.
Citizen Steel.
I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Nate. Like, he has some good moments in season 2. Like that opening scene where he's like barging into the mayor's office. I enjoyed. He does a lot of stupid stuff though. For being a historian, he messes that time up more than anyone.
Well, isn't he like no, he's not an archaeologist.
He's a historian.
Yeah, he's a historian.
I don't know how that allows you to know the difference that a time traveling team would make, but sure.
Yeah, that was a weird part. It's like, hey, so I know because history seems a little bit different. Your time traveling team's somewhere over here, right? They shouldn't be there, right? Well, how did you come up with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna allow them.
We're gonna give him the pass.
He's definitely screwed up a lot more time. A historian should not screw up the time that he screwed up in season 2, for sure.
You know what? And he screwed up at the beginning of season 3.
In the premiere,
very beginning, he screwed up,
which we'll get to. And then now Arrow. We're gonna move on to Arrow seasons 1 through 5.
Oh, good lord! I gotta bring back memories now.
I'll make this question very simple. It's gonna be a simple question. Which character that isn't on the show anymore do you want back? What was your favorite season? And do you like the change they made for seasons 4 onwards when he becomes the Green Arrow?
Right.
Because for me, a character I want back, and I think he is coming back this season, is Roy. I want Roy back for one reason only. For him to move on to the Titan show. and there's a way for it to do it. Because you can have Roy you can use Roy to introduce Dick Grayson.
Right.
Because when Roy left the show, because he pretended, he's like, I'm the Arrow, and then faked his death and moved on to a new city, he went to Bloodhaven, where Nightwing heroes defend, whatever you want to call that. So it's like, have him come on as Arsenal. They're like, oh yeah, I've been working with this guy in Bloodhaven. His name's Dick, or if they don't want to give a name out, his name's Nightwing. Bring him on. And then Titans next year. Which I'm excited for, because I love Titans.
Who doesn't love the Titans, man?
Teen Titans Go.
Why would you bring that up? I knew you were going to bring it up.
Yeah, because it's a disgrace. But that's a different. That'll be a different episode.
That's a whole other topic we don't.
And my favorite season is probably season 1, with a close runner-up to season 2.
Okay, see, I like Speedy.
Speedy's Thea, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Theoretically, it should be. It should have been Roy. But...
Well, because the reason I asked that question was because in the comics, Roy goes by Speedy, and then Arsenal, and then Red Arrow.
Yeah.
But, like, there's other characters in the show that take up the mantle of Speedy and all that, which Thea kind of resembles that character.
Yeah, Thea is Speedy in the Arrow, in this Arrow.
I liked her as Speedy. Anything before that was just disgrace.
Yeah.
A character I'm happy is gone. It's freaking Laurel.
Nobody likes Laurel.
Well, I thought she was good in season 1. But the moment they took her down the overusing drugs, popping pills, stealing pills from her father, it really went downhill. And then we got the whole 3-episode training with a boxer, and now I can fight crime up against a league of assassins. I'm sorry, no, I will refuse to accept that. I like Laurel, or Katie Cassidy, who plays Laurel, better as Black Siren than I do her as Laurel Lance. I refuse to accept that she could take down a league of assassins. I will allow Diggle to be able to, because I don't know what his past is. I know he was in the military and everything.
He has a lot of military combat training. Plus, he trains with Oliver all the time.
But I say he does train with Oliver, and Laurel trained with Oliver for a little while, I guess. But she was fighting crime before Oliver returned from his death.
Right.
Which, again, that's the season I dislike the most. I tell everyone to skip season 3, and no one listens to me. I can't think of anything good from season 3. Except for that, okay, there's one good thing. And that was the mid-season finale where they, full killed off the main character. I wasn't expecting that in the CW, but bravo. Other than that, season 3 sucks. What about you? Favorite season, character you want back?
I like Speedy as, her fighting crime with the Arrowverse. I just like Speedy and her, personality with Oliver. Roy would definitely be a great comeback as, Arsenal or Red Arrow.
I think he might still just stay Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal, and I hope he actually becomes Arsenal, like not shooting bows and arrows, but actually just has a craft.
Oh, so you want him you want him the Arsenal where he's missing a hand and goes on using guns and everything.
That man's got a bazooka out of nowhere, kind of Arsenal.
The Arsenal from Young Justice season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean that'd be kind of interesting to see. I mean, it's not like their team doesn't use guns. They'll go use a gun.
What's his name? Reyes.
Reyes.
Wild Dog. It's not Ivy.
Gun.
I don't know why I can think of that guy's name.
Who?
Wild Dog. I can't think of his actual civilian name.
Oh. Ramirez. No, that's not it.
That's not it. We're going to just call him Wild Dog.
Yeah.
So that, and I'm going to bring this up before we go on to the new season, the new premieres. The team they have at the end of season 5 for Arrow and the beginning of season 6, or I guess it was probably halfway through season. Actually, it was all season 5. I thought was a really good team.
Ragman, R.I.P.
I think he will return. I really hope he returns.
Although he's not dead, he just the cloth just died for some reason.
Well, I mean, it took a nuke on.
True.
Did it take a nuke on?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the team was really strong. I enjoyed the character development of Mr. Terrific.
Oh God, Mr. Terrific is an awful.
He was
fighter.
He was terrible, and he's not really a fighter.
I know he's not,
and I don't know why they tried to do that. Well, I actually understand why, because don't rely on technology all the way. But
you know, he that's my problem with. I love Mr. Terrific. He's such a good character. He's kind of funny. He's very funny. It's just like he's just like Felicity.
He's a male version of Felicity.
He just kind of opens his mouth and doesn't stop talking. Doesn't know when to stop talking.
Actually, I would say he's a counterpart to Barry.
Yeah, but it's just every episode he was in that had a fight scene, he got his ass whooped.
He did, and
he got like barely badly hurt or something, or caused problems where he got something happened.
Okay, in his defense though, he wasn't going up against Prometheus at all. So I will give him that.
I mean, even against random thugs, it's just.
But I do like his character development from being a lousy fighter to a competent fighter. I will say at most
Competent, yes.
Like he can hold his own against street thugs. But for the most part, Mr. Terrific, Wild Dog, there was one other
Artemis.
Not Artemis. New Black Canary.
Oh,
Dinah.
Yeah.
I thought I'll get to Artemis later. Those three, I really enjoyed the fact that they are now like the solidified Arrow 3.0.
Okay.
Artemis, yeah, I understand she's a villain for the most part. I was hoping they were going the Young Justice route and keeping her a hero. Because I actually really enjoyed Artemis and Young Justice. I hope she died on the island. I really hope she died on the island because I don't want to see her again.
They're going to bring her back now that you said that. They're listening, David. They're going to bring her back just for you.
I really hope not. But, you know, at the end of Arrow, we had the island explosion. How did you feel about that explosion?
How I feel about it just kind of brings in what happens in season 6.
Okay, so we're just talking about it then?
Yeah.
The one thing I enjoyed about the island, and I'll touch on it a little more in the premiere episode review, we're done with the island.
Yeah.
It's been 5 seasons. We're done with the island.
Every season, there was something to bring back the island. They literally like, there's no need to talk about this island. We're going to blow it up.
I guess it wasn't 5 because we went to Russia and China, but I will say this about the island. First 2 seasons with the island were great. Season 3, the only good thing about the island was when they brought John Constantine on, which was like an episode.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, the island was pointless. So now we're on to Supergirl, Season 3, Episode 1, titled The Girl of Steel. And I'm going to give you the brief synopsis, which is Kara deals with the loss of Mon-El by focusing all her energy on being Supergirl and the mysterious new threat against National City. Alex confesses a secret to Maggie about their impending nuptials, and a citizen of National City has a mysterious connection to Kara, and Lena makes a bold move. What did you like about this episode? What did you not like about this episode? For me, I did not like the fact that Alex and Maggie were in the middle of an op talking about personal stuff. And my next question is, does Maggie work for the DEO now?
That's a very good question.
Because DEO is a top secret organization, and she is a detective. And she's just allowed to be in the DEO. Annoy me. I don't know if that's because, she's engaged to Alex now.
Well, it's Maggie who's the one who showed them about the alien bars. Basically. Maggie was the one who actually showed them about the alien bars, and Maggie has connections to that, alien underground that the DL doesn't necessarily have or necessarily do. So she probably is a consultant after, investigating things as a detective. She eventually, runs into Alex a lot because of DEO missions and things like that. So she just probably is a consultant more or less, but eventually might be part of the DEO eventually.
I guess, but
that's the only logical way I can think about it.
The DEO kind of allows friends of the group to be there because James pops up there. It's been just James.
Yeah,
because Wynn works there now. So that was my thing, and I didn't catch this the first time, but we're gonna take a brief intermission to figure something out real quick. Be right back, and we're back. Sorry about that, folks. So the thing I didn't catch about the premiere episode of this was the scene where Alex and Maggie are in the op at the end, or close to the end, or it's like halfway, where they have that submarine attacking, destroying the statue and everything.
Right.
And they run into the mother and daughter. I don't know if they said her name or if
she definitely mentioned her name. I believe she mentioned her name.
Okay, I didn't rewatch the episode, but I do know now, after seeing a clip of season 2 finale with Kara being launched off Krypton, and then that third pod being launched, it clicked in my head that her name is Sam, and she is a villain, Rain, from the comics, which, by my understanding, she's pretty much just the Supergirl's version of Doomsday from Smallville.
Ooh.
It's a Kryptonian person sent to Earth to be destructive, and takes on a human form and all that. But when people brought up my attention about the whole bending the bar to save her daughter, when I first saw it, I just assumed it was motherly instincts, and she did that. I guess I didn't really pay attention to the bar being completely bent.
Yeah, at first you would think so, but they put a lot of visual on her to make me think that she's going to has a bigger role to play than just a motherly instinct.
And I think she will.
They gave her a lot of scene time for that, one particular incident.
For it to be just some random
woman saving her daughter.
If it was a random civilian, we wouldn't have gotten it. We could have still gotten that.
We could have still gotten that, but it was just a little too much. It took a little too much time, per se.
That's understandable. How did you feel about the character they brought on? I don't know his name, but he was like the businessman who goes to buy Catco.
Him.
How did you feel about him and what he is going to be doing this season? Because I remember watching the episode, and I couldn't figure out where I knew him from, the actor, until someone brought it to my attention. He was Talbot from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it didn't dawn on me until then, but...
well, with him, it's looking like more like a Damien Dark situation. Where
Damien Dark? You think Damien Dark? I was thinking more Malcolm.
Well, Dark was a businessman who was trying to buy buy this oceanfront. Same deal,
Yeah.
for his agenda. The Dark's agenda was to
Oh, I guess
blow up the city. His is making money. I don't see him making money by well, man, he bought a nuclear submarine to that place to destroy the city. I mean, if you think about it, never mind. That's Dark. It's Damien Dark over there.
I mean, Malcolm did the same thing.
Yeah, Malcolm.
Now that I'm thinking about that,
Malcolm made a giant earthquake. But yeah, he just kind of reminds me of Dark as the business side of it. I have money. I'm the most powerful person ever.
Yeah, he was definitely.
He's such a cocky,
condescending.
Yeah, very cocky person because he has money and he has a higher power. Because his talk with Lena's like, yeah, look at me, sweetheart. I'm the boss here. You're in my office. You don't talk. I am in charge right now. I don't care what you say. Yeah, that's the vibe he gave off of. Don't really like characters like that because their only purpose is making money. I mean, that's just what he looks like. His only purpose is he just want to make more money and doesn't care about anything.
I think he has I think there's another motive to him that isn't making money. But I really just... Do we need that storyline in the show? Like, if you want a businessman to come in and do something, bring Maxwell Lord back. Like, just bring him back. I mean, he was great in season 1, and we could possibly get another Bizarro Supergirl. So besides that, I agree I didn't really enjoy his character. I do hope that his character actually does something important, not just kind of, I'm evil for evil's sake.
Yeah.
How did you feel about James? And I'll even throw Lena in this because they're kind of 2 for 1 here.
This is going to be a power struggle right now, I can see.
Is it a power struggle or more just like... Because I feel like James is...
I think James is on that same mindset as you. Don't trust the Luther.
I don't want to say that. It was more James was used to running the company, and then
Lena
just jumps in and like doesn't consult him, just changes things up.
Right.
I think he felt more... If she would have consulted him and everything, I think he wouldn't be feeling insecure. And
okay, I see what you mean because James has been doing this for a while, and Lena kind of just 6 months. Lena just kind of in it's like this. I'm doing this, and James like, huh? Wait, I've been doing this for this long, and you just want to decide to do this, and you don't even want to talk to me about it or discuss anything or have any kind of my opinions or meetings or anything like that because he excluded her for the in one of the meetings, and he just like, you didn't think to bring this upon me. I am I am managing Catco right now. So, and
another thing that I was like, if maybe I wish they would. I understand we need it for the drama, but if this was real world, James should have went and talked to her. Like, hey, let's try to work this out. Like, I've been managing this. You bought the company. Let's kind of...
I know we can understand. Like, I want to work with you as the new owner of Catco. We can work together. Make things great. I have my inputs. I want to hear what you have to say. Kind of deal. I think
Lena is and I'm saying this as I said earlier. I don't trust Luther. Lena is understandable for the most part.
Oh yeah, she's a very understandable person, but James just didn't handle the situation fairly well.
I don't think either one of them did.
No.
And I understand Lena's side because, I bought this company. I want to make sure it's worth...
my money, yes.
Yeah, I understand that. Is there any negatives you have for the episode?
No negatives, but I almost cried. I almost definitely did cry.
Which cry did you almost cry at?
Which cry did you cry at?
Which part did you almost cry at?
Definitely when why did I forget her name? Alex. Definitely when Alex asked John to walk her
Oh
down the
yeah,
aisle. That one,
yeah.
that one just hit the heart right in the right, played the heartstrings right.
That was the one thing where it's like that whole scenario I enjoyed. It just as long as it wasn't taken into the field.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I want a big wedding. Maggie's like, I want a big wedding. Alex like, I want a small wedding. And then Alex finally gave the reasoning of if we have this big wedding, my father won't be there to walk me down the aisle. And gave really strong reasonings.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, and I guess they compromise and they're having a big wedding.
Yeah, and I love Wynn's just on comms like, you guys are cute.
You're my favorite couple.
Like they're like, you guys know you're on comms. This is an open channel. You didn't make anything kind of private. I'm just sitting here listening.
But the fact that she did go to John and ask him to walk her down the aisle, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because John made the promise to her father he'll watch over her.
John's been watching over them for a very long time.
I say way before the show started.
Way before the show started, because John was the one who brought Alex to the DEO.
And even he trusted. I feel like Alex was the first person he trusted to tell her, "I'm a Martian."
Yeah.
So like, all made sense. They are very similar, and even John to her I want to say flashback of father because they're very similar. Because the father we've seen so far is quote unquote caring, but he's not really showing that he actually cares about his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely a scene. I don't want them to get married this season.
Okay.
Because already in this universe we have one wedding going on, which we'll talk about later down the road. So it's like I don't want them to get married this season, but I don't want this to be a drama filled of wedding
issues between her.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hear, oh, I want a band, I want a DJ. I don't want to hear that every episode.
And dealing with that, plus Kara's brooding nature right now is something.
I think that ended after this season or this episode.
And I hope she's getting better.
I don't see how you're gonna say, oh, I'm Supergirl. I'm not human. I'm stronger than you. I am powerful and everything, and then have her. And I'm saying this very, very inconsiderate, but have her moping around over a guy. However, I do understand having a loved one you had to send off into space and not knowing he's alive or not.
My biggest question is, why couldn't they just send him to like the moon for like 2 minutes or something while we get a communicator, like it would make an intergalactic communicator or video chat. They could have done that.
There's a lot of things that go done, but what I understand why they did what they did, because we had to get Mon-El sent to.
They had to get him off Earth. They had.
No, I don't want to say we had to get Mon-El sent to space so he can go through a portal.
That portal just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because he went. From what I'm thinking from the comics and what I know, he went to the future to be with the Legion of Superheroes, and he's going to come back. Kara's going to be, oh yeah, Mon-El's back. Something's going to happen. He's like, I have to go back.
Yeah.
And Kara, Supergirl is going to be like, oh, awesome. Yay. I had you back and you were gone again. So I don't want Mon-El to come back too quickly.
Right.
I want it to actually mean something. So.
Okay. Let's talk about go on next topic to the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash Reborn, season 4, episode 1. I'm a big Flash fan, and here's the synopsis. With Barry and the Speed Force, Iris, Kid Flash, Joe, and Vibe have taken over protecting Central City. However, when a powerful armored villain threatens to level the city if the Flash doesn't appear, Cisco makes a risky decision to break Barry out of the Speed Force. However, the Barry that comes out isn't the same Barry that went in. I was really hoping that this season would have held off bringing Barry back a couple episodes. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I was hoping.
Oh well, you wanted Flash not come in until like episode 3 or 5.
Yeah, like let it have a kind of he's been gone.
Let it have some build up. Like he's still not even in the show.
But seeing the opening scene where Iris is doing the monologue and she ends with "I was supposed to marry the fastest man alive," and then we see Kid Flash, Cisco, and Vibe using teamwork to take down Peekaboo, which we haven't seen since season 1.
Right.
I thought it was really good. The dynamic between them was really good. My only downfall of that team is why is Iris leading that team?
Why is Iris leading that team?
Yes. She has no reason being that leader.
Can you really trust Cisco or Kid Flash to be a leader?
No, I cannot. However, why not have it as we're all working together to lead this it's not a one sole leader, but having the group.
Well,
because if I had to choose someone to be the leader while he was gone, Joe.
The only thing about Joe can't actually lead the team from where he's positioned because he is a cop. He has to be out there in the field.
I understand that,
but it makes sense that she would be, the leader, generally speaking, because she can control the command hub. She has the tower to guide them.
I will agree with that. She is the only viable reason. She's the only person who could be in that scenario of being,
a leader.
Star Labs while everyone's in the field.
I just her at the time just didn't make her a good leader because of her, all the things she was dealing with. But
it was just like, I understand that you had to have someone there, but you could have made Cisco the leader. Because before Barry left, he's like, they're going to look to you. Cisco is the most veteran person on that team. Cisco knows the ins and outs of Star Labs. And does Iris not work for the newspaper anymore?
That's a very good question. They didn't actually bring that up. They didn't mention anything about that. She just kind of like, I am now working at Star Labs now.
Which is like, I'm cool with her being at Star Labs for the most part. It's just like, I don't want, which I know it's going to happen, I don't want, we're dating now, or we're engaged, now we're working together drama. Which I know it's going to happen. But it's like, the thing I liked about Iris in the comics was she was on her own. She was a reporter, she was an awesome reporter. She was pretty much the Lois Lane of the Flash comics. She did her job. She did her job well, and she had nothing to do with Team Flash. I understand this is different, but like Iris doesn't always fit together with Team Flash. I liked the episodes where she was doing her own thing, reporting and all that. So I don't agree with her being a leader. Because there was Barry was the leader last time. And season 2, and then we had Harrison Wells be the leader in season 1. Why not just have a Harrison Wells be the leader?
They don't need any more Wells. Just calm down on the Wells.
The reason I'm saying that is because Harry from Earth 2 is supposed to be coming back. And if you're going to tell me Iris is a better leader than Harry...
Oh, no, definitely not.
I want to have some words with the Flash right on that one.
But honestly, it's like so many Harry...
There's 4 Harrison Wells.
Yeah.
There's 4. Let's call it what it is. One's dead.
Theoretically is dead? Okay, well, one's really dead. The other one's...
Oh, 2's dead, sorry.
I don't even know about the other one. That's the problem.
Which one are you talking about?
The first one.
He's dead.
Are you sure?
And here's how I've finally come to realize how this is possible. So Eobard Thawne comes back in time, kills Harrison Wells of Earth 1.
Yeah.
Becomes that Harrison Wells. End of season 1, Eddie Thawne kills himself, kills Eobard, causing Harrison Wells to disappear. At the end of that season, we had that giant singularity.
Uh-huh.
And in the beginning of season 2, we see Barry Allen and Firestorm stop it. That singularity was supposed to erase that timeline.
Okay.
But since it was stopped, that timeline was able to continue going, which is shown in Harrison Wells from Earth 1 is dead. Eobard Thawne Wells is dead. And HR is dead. Harry is the only Wells alive that I want back.
Let him stay on Earth. That way he'll stay alive. Anytime they come to Earth 1, they die.
This is true. This is actually very true. So I do want that. I will go along with Iris being the leader and running things. What did you think of Barry and his powers when he got back?
Yeah, he got a turbocharge from the Speed Force. Apparently, he's running faster than ever before.
Anyone has ever ran. My thing I love seeing was the moment he was in the pipeline, in the cell that was supposed to damp speed, and the moment Joe said Iris is in trouble, Barry destroyed that pipeline. I loved it. I don't agree with Iris being in danger all season 3, and then see the first episode of season 4. Iris like, take me, Flash will come. It's like, what was season 3 for?
The whole thing was about you in danger. Now you're gonna do it again, girl. Stop.
But I definitely enjoyed that. Seeing Cisco full on vibe was awesome.
I'm glad he is using his powers more. That's been like, he has powers, but he doesn't often use it or necessarily use it only to, bring a portal in for somebody else. The only time he really ever vibes, all of season 3, he just vibed with Julie until...
Oh yeah, he vibed people to the future and all that.
Yeah, but, this is actually him vibing to, actually transport it, actually capture people, stop you. I like them. I want to see Cisco more in the field. I really want to see Cisco more in the field.
I can accept that. What did you think of the villain? Samuroid.
Samuroid? I love their names. Again, it's just a robot. The biggest question is the person who made the robot.
I will agree with that. We'll get that next, because we are kind of going through these episodes quickly, because not a lot happened in these premieres.
They gave us a very snippets where we can just analyze and what we speculate for what's going to happen next.
But I do want to point out, like, I enjoyed the Samuroids, and we got the iconic Flash being held up by the samurai sword that I really enjoyed. But the fact that we just got a robot samurai as a villain on a CW show, I thought was great. I really enjoyed that, and I thought it was a good villain for this because of what it was meant to do.
Yeah,
the villain did what he was supposed to do, and that was bring back the Flash, which I'll get to when we get to that. Because you see Barry take down the robot samurai, and then he's like, "Welcome back, Flash."
Right.
Which it means the whole entire plan was to get him back, like, out of the Speed Force. Because I would refuse to accept anything other than the fact that he knew where he was. Now, the person behind the robot. Do you know who it is? And
The Thinker.
Okay. So, what did you think of the Thinker?
Now, I'm not too much big on the. I haven't read up on the comics or anything like that. Unfortunately, I haven't really got into those. I should, but from what I see, from what I saw from him, he definitely gives off that brainiac kind of vibe to him. And I'm only saying that as a super intellectual who seems to surpass anything, any obstacle he can or want. Figuring out the problems. I see, the thinker's main goal is trying to, see what his limits or capabilities are as a villain. Like I know I'm the smartest man alive.
Yeah,
and can the smartest man alive beat the fastest man alive?
Which is the tagline for the season. It's like the smartest mind versus the fastest man alive, or the fastest mind versus the fastest, something like that.
I didn't even know that. That would just be my biggest speculation.
Which is a title, which is the title of a comic issue. This I'm showing Carl the picture of Mobius in his chair. That's what the Thinker reminds me of in the show. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Mobius DC character in his chair, or the DC character Mobius in his chair, and it resembles what the Thinker is, in my opinion.
Looks like a character from Tron, basically.
And I'm really curious to see where we're going with him.
Right.
And because from the first episode, it doesn't look like he was a villain. He was more of the fact that he was just trying to bring the flashback.
Right.
I don't know if that's because I want the flashback, so I have an actual competition, or just because he thinks Central City needs the Flash.
Right. They don't actually necessarily say he's evil. I mean, he did definitely send an evil robot he did cause some damage to the city, but that's what's the term of doing something bad for the greater good?
An anti-hero?
Yeah, the anti-hero conservative deal.
But yeah, he is doing bad. He's pretty much, it's that moral ground where it's like doing something bad for a good cause, which we got the flashback, so.
Got the flashback.
And I'm going to rephrase that. We got the flashback times a million. Because in that episode, I mean, granted, he was going through a beautiful mind phase, but I honestly don't want to see Barry hesitate anymore. I'm cool with him hesitating every once in a while if he doesn't understand what's going on, but don't sit there like, I can't do this anymore. I need help. And then we get that stupid line, "Run, Barry, run." I don't want to hear that much more.
But you already did. It's already happened.
So I'm cool with hearing it once in a while, but not every single episode.
Tell Barry to shoot lightning. He can do more than just run. He can shoot lightning.
I feel bad for Kid Flash.
Oh yeah.
Because Cisco's over here making a suit for someone who's not around.
Kid Flash get nothing.
It's like, come on, give Kid Flash a cool new suit.
My thing is, what is up with his hair? I
actually didn't even notice hair. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't pay attention to his hair.
That was the biggest thing, because he had this little afro. And now he has sick, slick black hair with the curl coming down.
Does he?
Yes.
I need to.
I was looking. I was like, how did this happen? Where did this come from?
I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was a problem that was bothering me a lot, because he looked like a little pretty boy now.
Interesting.
He went like a pretty boy on us.
So do you have any more final thoughts on The Flash?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
Go to Legends.
Actually, I'm going to end it here. And we're going to do Legends and Arrow on a different episode, because we're already past runtime.
Alrighty.
And if you don't mind. And the next episode will be Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow premiere episodes. Thank you for listening. Please tweet me your thoughts on Supergirl and The Flash premiere and past episodes at Joker of Nothing on Twitter. And post in the comments what you think of these and what your favorite characters from Supergirl and Flash were. Carl, do you have any final thoughts?
No, thank you for having me today.
It was a pleasure having you on board for this, and I hope you do return for Legends and Arrow. Thank you for listening. Have a great night. Bye.
Good night.